In the excipient space, DuPont has a very comprehensive offering. So from one side, our core business is really in tablets and capsules, and we have a really expanded portfolio in immediate release solutions and in control release solutions. Now, the core of our value proposition is really quality, reliability, and consistency. So we are the incumbents in this market. We've been operating in this market for many decades, and that understanding gives us a really good platform to talk to customers about their problems and what is the role that our excipients can play in solving those problems. So that's really the core of our value proposition. Cost is a very important consideration for customers, for pharmaceutical customers today, both what we call innovators and generic producers. Extremely important. To give you an idea, today there is more than 400 million people suffering from type 2 diabetes. And it's extremely imperative that we reduce the cost collectively to be able to produce a high quality product that actually meets the needs of the population. So for us, what we've been doing is twofold. Number one is creating very reliable, high quality products. That's extremely important to us so that the efficiencies at our customers are high. And number two, innovating and developing new products that would allow our customers to reduce their own cost in their own facilities. So those are the two approaches that we have taken to reduce cost for customers. An understanding of the polymers, of the excipients, is extremely critical in this industry because the excipients play a very important role in the formulation. It can go anywhere from, let's say, 10% up to 90%. So they're a critical part of the overall formulation. And the understanding of the polymer is fundamental in developing the right formulation, the robust formulation. So what we've been doing at DuPont in the last several years is to make sure that we understand every attribute, every factor that impacts our polymers, in particular our functional polymers, our functional excipients, and understand how those factors correlate with the end product. Once you understand that, you are able to design a very robust product that is always going to perform the same way to the industry, which is what the industry wants. The large molecule space, I would say, is relatively new in pharmaceutical terms. And because of that, there is still a lot of potential opportunities for improvement throughout the process in what's called upstream processes, downstream processes, and even in the formulation steps. So I see two areas where suppliers can really participate. In our case, DuPont is looking at this area actively. Number one is how can you make the process more robust? Right? And how can you make the process more efficient? Because at the end of the day, you want to reduce the cost of making a biologic so that it's more accessible to people. So that's number one. And number two is very important, is also on the delivery of the biologic. Today, most of the biologics are delivered via injectables. But we believe there is a lot of potential to improve those injectables and even go a step further and start delivering those products in oral form. So we're working on two fronts to make sure that the biologics continue to advance. I believe that what's happening in pharma, in general, in the healthcare sector is very interesting. If you go back maybe 40 years ago, the focus was on treatment, and specifically on treatment of any disease. Then if you go back a few decades ago, what you will see is that there's now more interest in prevention, not only treatment, but also prevention. But initially, I would say it was a little bit anecdotal. What we're seeing in the last few years is really a very strong interest in understanding how these dietary supplements, these products, actually perform in the body. And what we're doing at DuPont with several of our products is really that full understanding of the benefits that some of our products, let's say probiotics, the clinical benefits that you can have, or the person can have, the patient, in the body by taking these products. The consumer behavior has changed significantly, I would say, over the last 15, 20 years. In the past, it was all about, you take a tablet, you get better. Now consumers are looking for different and better delivery forms. So consumers can be looking for topical products, can be looking for chewable tablets, can be looking for gummies. Actually, gummies is an area that a lot of people want to take their dietary supplements in that form. And what in DuPont, what we have is a combination of two areas. Number one is drug delivery technologies. So Pharma Solutions is an expert in drug delivery technologies in many of the areas that I just talked about. But then on the API side, or the dietary supplement side, with our probiotics team, we have the largest collection of probiotics strains that have been clinically tested in humans. So we believe that with this approach, so a very high quality APIs, and with the right delivery systems, we can combine those for the benefit of the patient. We continue to be, and we will continue to be, very committed to the pharmaceutical industry. If you look at DuPont vision, is to really help solve the world's toughest challenge through innovation. And there is no better industry, in my view, than the pharmaceutical industry to be able to accomplish this. So we will continue to innovate in drug delivery. We will continue to invest in our assets, because what we see is the desire for companies across the globe to work with reputable suppliers such as ourselves. And then we will continue to explore ways in which we can combine APIs or dietary supplements with our products to provide the best benefits to customers.